I used to think the original Christopher Reeves movies of Superman were boring. That Superman being nice, saving people, was boring. Superman being Superman was boring. Then I watched Man of Steel and the rest of the Snyderverse movies, and I was like, wow, Superman is so cool now. Then I watched Comic Historian's Super Sons video, and then I fell in love with the series ever since. I haven't read it personally, but I just love the series so much. I really want to read it, but like from what I've heard, from what I've been told, it is a great series, and from what I've seen, it is possibly what got me into comics. Then after I went into my edgy Superman phase, I loved edgy Superman. Then I watched Superman Man of Tomorrow, and I've reviewed that movie before, but that movie was spectacular. It got Superman right. And then I've just stopped falling in love with Snyderverse. And since what's the point of watching it if it's going downhill from now? But what's brought a live action Superman into the limelight recently is Superman and Lois. And that series got Superman and Lois right. Hey guys, Redneck Fanboy Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Superman and Lois Season 1, since I haven't seen Season 2 yet. Now, where do I begin? Superman and Lois is quite possibly the best superhero series I've ever watched. Now you may be saying, but Redneck Fanboy Productions, I thought you said that that Invincible was your favourite series. Well, shut up, for one. Invincible, right? People kind of got into the series because it had J.K. Simmons. And J.K. Simmons, spoiler alert here, was a villain in the series. That's why people watched Invincible. Now, Invincible is a really good series. I cannot wait until Season 2 comes out. But, however, people mainly watched it for J.K. Simmons, because J.K. Simmons is J.K. Simmons. Probably the best voice actor, probably the best actor in the entire multiverse. This series does not have J.K. Simmons in it, but Superman and Lois still got the character of Superman right. They made him not a dark and brooding hero, but an optimist, but a father. Woo! So that's right, Marvel fans. We got a Superman as a father in live action before you could get Spider-Man as a father. We're better than you. For once, we're better than you. Okay, so the series, every one of the costumes, right? Well, the lack of costumes, mainly being like Superman's costumes, the main villain's costumes, they all hit. I love classic Superman's costume. I love this costume, the main costume, and I love the origin costume, the Fletcher costume. That looks amazing. And if you don't know me, I love the Fletcher costume. It is the best Superman costume ever. Now, just search it up right now and tell me what you think in the comics. Because let me tell you, the Fletcher costume is the best ever Superman costume. I just love the logo for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, now I'm getting a bit off track. The main villains are... Now, I'm not going to spoil the series for you. General Luthor. No relation to Lex Luthor. Morgan Edge. And... this came to a shocker to me. But hopefully this gets you to watch the series. General Zod. General Zod. That was amazing. I got surprised. He was so good. And this is kind of also another spoiler, but they also got in the Eradicator. Now, if you don't know who the Eradicator is, let me tell you about him. He's basically an evil Superman, and he was born to the death of Superman comic, and he tricked people into thinking he was Superman. But in this show, right, and in the rest of it, right, the Eradicator is just, well, not in the show actually. I think he's like an android that is bent on like bringing back every one of the Kryptonians back and like killing all of humanity. And he looks such like a badass villain, but not in the series. The costume in the series that he wears still looks badass, but it's nothing like the comic version. He looks so fucking good. He looks badass. Search him up, but don't search up Superman and Lois Eradicator because you're gonna get a spoiler. So yeah, Morgan Edge, right? Morgan Edge. He's proper British, innit? He's proper British poppycock, innit? He buys out the Daily Planet and he like ruins like small businesses. He's a bit of a dick, to be honest. Now, I'm getting a bit of sidetracked because the villains, right? They rarely show up. There's not that many villains. There's like, I had to search for most of the villains, to be honest. And like, that's about it, really. Like, I think there's Morgan, General Zod, Commando Letha, Tag, some guy named Tag, this really old fat guy with glasses. Yeah, that's about it, really. There's not that much villains, to be honest. That's about it. There's also some evil Kryptons as well. But like, yeah, that's about it. Well, what they find, right, to bring back Kryptonians, right, in this series, is Kryptonite X. Now, if you don't know about Kryptonite X, let me tell you about it. Kryptonite X, right, is it basically gives every human being Superman powers. They're around it a long time. Okay, so now that I've got every bad element out of the way, all bad guy elements out of the way, let's get into the main characters. Jordan and Jonathan Kent. They are Superman's sons, and I genuinely got shocked that they went the other way around, like that they made like the loser Kent into Superboy, and hopefully in like season 3 or 2 or something, they make the other Kent into Superboy as well. But generally, way to go. Woo. One of the Kents is like a professional athlete, but his brother, right, he's got like anxiety in that. He's a loser, and like when he finds out that he's got these superpowers, right, he's like, oh, I can join football, and like he just generally pisses off his brother, to be honest. Okay, so let's get to the actual main characters that people actually care about, Superman and Lois. And let me tell you, for once, in cinema history, well, not cinema, series history, we don't have a couple that's like, oh, I hate you, we're gonna break up. It's not like a will they, won't they, it's a, that they just are. They will never break up. They're such a strong couple, and it just gets me to smile. That's what the series had me doing throughout the entire series, smiling, because what else is Superman supposed to do? Make you like, oh, sad, boo-hoo. It just makes me smile. And that's what Superman is supposed to get you to do. Make you feel happy, make you feel hopeful, make you feel optimistic. Make you see the good in humanity. The main villain, right, tries to get Superman to become a villain, right? Obviously he doesn't, because he's a good guy. And the main villain just like says all hell to it then, and just like goes out of his way destroying all of Metropolis. Now, throughout the whole series, right, the main focus isn't on Metropolis for once, but Smallville. Now, Smallville is where Superman was raised. The farm, everything. Every building is basically a farm in Smallville. But for once, it's actually, a peaceful town. It's not like a backwards hillbilly town. It's kind of backwards. It's kind of a bit like slow on that. But it is so charming. Everyone tried to help people at one point. But then Morgan Ed came in and he was like, "Oh, I'll help you guys. I'll help everyone." And towards the end of the series, spoiler alert, they started taking heart and soul of Smallville, or the new heart and soul of Smallville, Lana Lang, Superman's ex. Yeah, Superman absolutely hits. Superman gets the girls. He gets so much bitches. Just by Superman being there, they just want him. But then he goes out in training, trying to find out his powers, and Lana kind of forgets about him, and she gets married to this this old southerner guy who, spoiler alert, becomes a bit of an alcoholic dick and quite unlikable. Then he becomes likable and he's a good dad, yay! And also Superman's son falls in love with the Langs, and a bit weird to fall in love with your dad's ex's daughter, but very good to do. This whole entire series is so charming. It's just But let me tell you about the bad stuff, because I rarely talk about the bad stuff, mainly because I want you to go out and watch the series, watch the movies that I try and talk you into, because I generally believe people like these things and they will enjoy them if they are a superhero fan. But now let's get into the bad stuff. The CGI, it's just bleh. It's just disgusting. It looks like some sort of YouTube animation. It looks terrible. It looks like one of those old school YouTube videos, And the dialogue for some of the villains, "I will destroy you. I will punch you in the face." It's when when you were a kid, right? And you'd get all little toys and go out to the garden just being bah, bah, bah. "I will destroy you and eat you all." It's that. It's "I will punch your dick to death. Not if I have anything to say that. I will kill you to death." It's that. It's not really good. The CGI and the fight scenes are thereof is not that really. It's not good really. It's a bit poo. And the series, right, barely has anything to do with the Arrowverse. It's tied into the Arrowverse, but you can barely tell. When they do it, right, it kind of ruins the series, because it's supposed to be a Superman series and not an Arrowverse series. It feels more like a Superman series, but not an Arrowverse series. But when they reintroduce to people this character named John Diggle, I heard there's some fan theories that it was going to be John Stewart because he was black and he had the same name. This sounds a bit weird, and they almost made him Green Lantern, but they didn't, because it would have been dumb to make a Green Lantern series for some reason, even though they made Naomi, which is a shit series. But anyway, him just getting introduced to the series, I had no idea what he was on about, but you could kind of tell what was going on, multiverse stuff. I was it's just weird to me. I have no idea. It's hard to get new viewers into watching your show if they keep making other shows pop up. It's like Marvel like watching Marvel movies, like trying to get a new Marvel fan into the series. Because how are you gonna try and get a new MCU fan into the MCU, right? If every movie or episode has like, I don't know, Wong in it. Because if you don't know anything about Wong in a Spider-Man movie, or if you don't know anything about Doctor Strange in a Spider-Man movie, then you won't know what's going on. Don't know their character arc or anything. So it's kind of weird for them to show up. So that's my negatives on it, but other than that, the series as a whole is pretty damn good. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I will. And apparently, season 2 has more villains. Like, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, right? And don't freak out. But they've added Bizarro into it. And if you don't know anything about Bizarro, search him up. He's such a goofy ass villain, and I love it when superhero movies and superhero shows introduce goofy elements of the comics, and it just makes it feel more comic booky. Other than that, it's been Redneck Fanboy. I hope you have an amazing day, a super day, and bye for now. Okay, so I know this video has came out a bit randomly, even though like Superman and Lois came out last year, and I know this ending feels a bit random. But if you don't know me, I was born in Britain. I'm a member of the British Army. Yeah, I say British Army, but I'm just born in the UK, and I found out that Queen Elizabeth II has died, and to be honest, right, I know this people are gonna be like, oh, boo-hoo, the Queen's dead, but let's be honest here, no one is going to be like that. Besides the quiet people in the audience of this video, may be a bit upset that the Queen is dead, but she was really old. She was like 96. Like, no one was probably alive today around the day of her when she became queen. Or like, no one remembers who was queen or king before her. And plus, let's be honest, a person that age, right, was probably a bit of a racist. I mean, like, come on, she was like 96. People around my age are probably racist. Like, tons of people are racist. And I know this is a Superman video, but like, come on, you've got to focus on the realistic side. But yeah, and now it's going to be changed to God Save Our King instead of God Save Our Queen, which is a bit awkward. Shouldn't it be like God Rest Our Queen or something now? I mean, come on. And plus, I don't really care about monarchs, so I don't know why I'm making this last part of the video thing. Maybe like just some relevance to something to like what's happened recently. Yeah. Subscribe for more content, and if you like the video, smash the like button.